Hey, welcome to another great episode of the Real Deal podcast. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harden. Another great episode, WNBA Preview Show. Let's get it. All right. Again, welcome back to another great episode of the Real Deal podcast. As always, I'm your host, Courtney Harden. We got another incredible guest, returning guest back on. So I'm going to bring her on in just a few minutes. But before I do, you can follow the show on all the podcast platforms, wherever you get podcasts. Spotify, Apple. We're on YouTube, the BS3 Network YouTube channel, also on Roku, BS3 Network Roku channel. Download the app there. We are on Twitch, everywhere. Spreaker, iHeartRadio. Like I said, wherever you consume podcasts, you can find the Real Deal on there. BS3TVLive.com is the website. And you can follow me personally on all the social medias platforms, whether it is Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it these days, Instagram, Facebook. I'm active on all. Blue Sky. I do have a Blue Sky as well. Trying to get into that. I got a TikTok. So I do use it sparingly, but I'm there as well. So if you need to contact me or get in touch with me, you can find me on all those social media platforms as well. But as you can see by the background, it is the WNBA season kickoff 2025. Very excited. I've already had a few great guests and shows that I've done already these past couple of weeks. So I had to bring in some reinforcements. A woman that's really true and true women in sports, represents it to the fullest. We've connected maybe a couple of years ago, and we've done so many shows together. We've collaborated. I've done some of her shows and with her podcast, and she's been on mine as well. So I'm not going to keep her any longer in the background. So let me bring her in. I have Ashley W. From the Bonafide Her podcast. He's the host of that incredible podcast, blogger for Beautiful Ballers as well. Like I said, women's just an athlete advocate and does a little bit of everything. So, Ashley, welcome back to the show. Really appreciate it.
What's up? How you doing, sir?
I am doing well. Thanks for coming on and doing this again. I think we do this every year. We've done this over the last couple of years. Women's basketball when the W starts, which starts by tomorrow, by the way. So get ready. And so keep supporting because the WNBA continues to increase and continues to get better with the viewerships. And Ashley's been she's like I said, advocate and just a powerful woman in this space as well, content creating, podcasting, and really pushes the especially women's sports in general. So Ash, thank you for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for having me. Of course.
Yeah, and like I said, we do this like at least a couple times a year when the W starts and college basketball, women's college basketball. We have a few shows here, and then the Final Four and all that. So it's like I said, it's been a minute. So on Rival, we did something I believe back in February. So I think that was the last time we actually did something together. But we keep in touch on a regular. So yeah. So how you been? I know you've been very busy with the podcast. Again, Bonafide Podcast, follow and subscribe and like and all those things. You got some merchandise now as well. So congratulations. But how's everything been going with you?
I'm been blessed, I'm just blessed, really honored, just I've been blessed. That's all I could say. Just been busy, like you said, just working with
Mhm.
so much. So I'm just been blessed. So yeah.
Yeah, no doubt for sure. And like you said, just you have you launched the merchandise and you have the merch store happening. So I know you're working on that, and you like said you're still blogging for Beautiful Ballers, and yeah. So let's catch up. And what else you got going on? You said the podcast and the blogging. Let us know what else you've been up to over the last 4 or 5 months.
And I just started a Instagram broadcast channel called Athletes Advocate, just
Mm.
advocating for the athletes and the athletes' mental health as they are so near and dear to my heart. And also just like also I've been working with the pro Queen City Pro Am in
Yeah.
Charlotte. So and that's coming up with the summer hoops. So and then of course I'm honestly super, super blessed that I would like to announce that my podcast secured a sponsorship collaboration with the
Yeah.
Queen City Pro Ams, my just one of the first of many sponsors to collab for the with the podcast. So I'm super blessed and excited about it to utilize my platform of my podcast to continue to share stories with the Charlotte Hoopers and just provide the light for the Hoopers from Charlotte because there's so many like Hoopers in North Carolina, considered the hoop state, and there's so many athletes that have a story that should be told and heard. And I just want to be able to provide that. And I think with Queen City Pro Am, they have so many hoopers, like I said, being able to showcase their talent. I think that's a story as well that should be seen. So I'm super blessed and yeah, so and got the athlete con. I'm gonna be participating in the athlete
Mm.
con again. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm super excited about that. So yeah.
Yeah, you got a lot going on. Yeah, and congrats on the sponsorship. I know that it was a big thing that you wanted to get. So congrats, and that is a huge blessing. We get sponsorships for your for the work you do, and and you said you got the merchandise store, and you're doing that, and yeah, and you said you're all over the place. I see all the content. You know, we follow each other a lot. So you got a lot going on. So I'm glad we can still have some time that we could do this. I know we always do. So, but yeah, but we find time to do this together. So you got one of our big supporters, Nathan Ramasandra from Nissan Sports Rush. He says, "Keep up the great, amazing work." So yeah, thanks for the shout out, Nathan, on that as well. But yeah, let's talk about AthleteCon, and you said you did that last year, and that was huge. So you're
Yeah.
going to get to do that for the second year. Talk about that, and that I know it's coming out. When is that? When is that's happening? Coming up as well.
So first of all, shout out to Sam Green for
Mm,
creating a platform for the college athletes to be able to showcase their talent through content creations and providing the athletes to get a chance, the opportunity to have brand partnerships and just collaborate for all the athletes and learn about more about the NIL. Yeah, I went to the Athlete Con the first time, the first one last year in June. And then also got a chance to go to the Athlete Con's Queens Retreat, so be able to connect with the female athletes in college of from different sports and different colleges. So I was able to do that. And this year I'm going to participate in AthleteCon again 2.0, and it'll be first week of June. So I'm super excited about it. And Sam Green, truly amazing trailblazer, just continue to provide the platform for all the college athletes to with the NIL. And I'm just like I said, I'm just super blessed to also like she has also inspired me to continue to of course advocate for the athletes as I've always been that, but she's like the motivational person that keeps pushing as well as helping me like just start the athletes advocate. And
yeah.
like I said, I'm super proud of her, and just blessed to have her as like one of my mentors and everything. So yeah, so I'm super stoked about AthleteCon 2.0 and ready for it. So yeah.
Yeah, so June, yeah, shout out to Sam Green. She does amazing work. Still trying to get her on the podcast. So if you're listening, here's that invitation. It's always open because I definitely wanted to for her to share her story and what she does, like you said, for the athletes, and understanding NIL and the benefits, and just not even that, but just uh, education. She's very educational with it as well with that. And you said advocate, and just like yourself, in that space, she does incredible work. So AthleteCon 2.0, check it out as well. So we got Hey Panel, first time checking in. Really appreciate it. Tula Plays, thank you for tuning in. And in the comments, really appreciate that. And yeah, let's talk about the Bonafide Her podcast. You reached 100 episodes, which I was a big part of. I was the first. I was the first male to come on, which I feel so blessed and honored to do that. And you've launched that, and now you've just taken off. You got so many episodes now, and I mean, incredible. Again, Bonafide Her podcast. Check it out. Follow, subscribe. Really share it as well. But congrats on reaching 100 episodes. You over that now. So, but talk about how that the podcast, how that's going. Said sponsorship, and talk a little bit about what you've been up to with that since those 100. That the next episode after 100 episodes.
Yeah, I'm first of all, I'm just thankful that reached 100 episodes before that last year, and so and it was crazy. I had a guest, and she became my 100th episode. So like on the thing, she had like on her phone just like 100. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, let's go.
Yeah,
So also I've just been blessed with so many different athletes coming in. I know I've had a lot of male athletes reach out to me, and
yeah,
it's so crazy because I'm like, okay, like, and I've noticed they advocate for women's sports, and I feel super honored about it too.
yeah.
Like, and I could just tell. So, but also like just allowing male athletes to come on, especially if they advocate women's sports, to share their story, or like
Yeah.
those that support what I'm doing. I've been, the connections that I form with all of them, and just always very proud of them with their career, and just continue to grind. And I'm literally like 16 episodes away from 150 episodes. So I'm manifesting that I reach it before the summer ends, and then the 200 episode before the year ends. Like that's my goal,
Yeah.
and I'm super proud of it. And just released merch for the podcast, and the website for it is on the in the link in the bio for both my podcast Instagram and my main page. So I'm just super blessed, and just I want to continue to make history, and hopefully just you know have that podcast where people, if they talk about like what's a good women's sports podcast, that my name is brought up, and just continue to make history. I'm already manifesting, and like I feel like I'm praying that I get some type of. I even want to. I'm praying and manifesting that I get an SB award.
Okay.
Just
Yeah, that's a
like
whole huge goal. Yeah, for sure.
especially I just, for me, like I always say, as a woman in sports that's on the autism spectrum, you never hear or
Yeah.
heard of something like that. And just want to continue to make an impact on people. And, you know, I feel like, to me, I know inspiration is one of the greatest gifts you could give to somebody. So
Yeah. Yep.
I'm super thankful. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, congrats again. Like I said, I was part of that journey, and I just feel, I've always felt honored just to be a part of that with you and seeing it grow to what it is today. So yeah, that's amazing, amazing thing, amazing feat to to have and everything too. And you got some comments in here saying you're such an inspiration. That's from Nathan as well. And yeah, so we got some questions. So we're gonna let's get into this W since yes, if you guys got any questions, let us know. So the WNBA season starts tomorrow. Very excited. I know me and you are big, huge fans, and then we put out so many content and everything too. So since the last few years I've known you, you really are big just a women's sports fan just in general. And but yeah, we have let's see, I'm gonna go to the first question. So yeah, we might as well get this. I'm gonna get this one first, and then we'll get to Nathan's. Tula Play said, "Who you guys have as the five that missed out on the playoffs?" That's a good question. So the five teams that are gonna miss the playoffs this year. Let's see. I'll do your five, and we can go back and forth. I think Golden State because they're the new team, and it's always hard for an expansion team to get right into it and start winning. It's going to take them some time. So I believe they'll be the first team that's out. I mean, this season's going to be incredible because there's so many moving parts and things like that. Connecticut, I think they lost a lot of pieces. So now they're up for sale. I don't know if the last I knew they're up for sale. So they got that lingering on. So I think they'll miss. So man, this is gonna be tough. I think Washington will be improved, but I think they might just miss the playoffs as well. So I believe they will. I don't know about the other two because there's so many good teams. Who do you think? What are the teams you believe could miss the playoffs?
Connecticut Suns, they just waived Diamond DeShields, which was like it's crazy. I would say that, and they're up for sale, so that's a lot of pressure for them.
Yeah.
Um, I
Yep.
would say, I would say probably the Mercury in a way because
Mm, mm.
they've lost some key players and they'll soon be young. Um, Golden State because it is their first year. Sometimes the first years is hard to make it,
Yep.
and
Yep.
they got rid of another player that was productive. Um, Man, it's hard because I'm gonna take a wild guess and say the Fever. I mean, yeah, Fever got some pieces, but it's just and then I would say probably Minnesota Lynx. That's a toughie to me because you can only rely on certain players, and sometimes that one player they may get injured, and then all of a sudden it's like you may not have a lot of players left to. But I'm gonna just say those. But I think the surprising one, I think the team that will make the surprising is Dallas Wings. I believe they will surprise a lot of people. Um, and they have Paige, Enrique, um, the defense of Dejanay Carrington and Nalissa Smith.
Mm.
And shout out to Kyla Charles. She's one of my peoples that's on the Dallas Wings. So she's on that team. So shout out to her. Um, and also shout out to Cheyenne Parker. She is on the Las Vegas Aces. She's new player. She's fam. So, but yeah. So I mean, like I said, I'm just guessing these teams, but it's anybody's game, so it can change. So
Right, right. Yeah, I definitely got to disagree with you on Indiana and Minnesota. I think they will be two of the top teams actually in the on the top. But like I said, Tula Play says Fever and Lynx. He just questioned. He said they're in their top four. I agree. I think those two are definitely top four. Indiana, Minnesota. Actually, I got Minnesota actually getting back to the finals because they brought back all their starters. Most of their team is back together, and they was just one play away really from winning the title, the championship. So I believe they're going to be on their revenge tour, and it looks like I definitely have Minnesota as one of the top teams actually winning. Um, the Liberty, they're going to be right in the mix at the top as well as the champions. So they'll be up there. Indiana, I think Indiana getting all those pieces around Caitlin Clark, and they were just lacking experience this last year, and it still made the playoffs after a slow start. So all they needed was some experience, and and that's what they got. They got experience now. They got some championship. Championship. Just people that had some championships. So they got. So I think they're deep now. New coaching staff. So it's got to bring the pieces together. But I feel like Indiana, there's a lot of hype around them, but getting the pieces that they need, championship experience is what they needed. So I believe they'll be right at the top. But for the other two, I just knew those other two teams. They said Golden State, Connecticut, and Washington, I believe, will be the bottom three. The last two, Phoenix might be right at the bottom, like you said. I think they'll be. That's going to be tough losing DT and Brittany Griner. Um, it's going to be a huge blow. I mean, they were together for so many years together, and then losing that someone like Diana Taurasi, so they could be at the bottom. And then I think the last spot's going to come down to who misses is Dallas, even with Paige and uh, you know. And even getting Paige, they will be improved, but it's gonna be a little, yeah, it's gonna be just going to an interesting season. How about that? It's gonna be a great interesting season as well. What do you think of the Liberty? Do you feel like they could repeat?
It's a possibility, but with this year's draft, there were so many good players.
Mm,
Unfortunately, when you have players that I feel like they should be utilized more and they don't get a chance to, and then they get waived, it's unfortunate. Like for me, the Las Vegas Aces really fumbled the ball when they waived Deja Kelly. When Deja Kelly was coming off the bench, 12 points per game, and he even hit a game winner. I think they really fumbled with
mm,
that. And like I said, Connecticut Sun just waived the shield, Diamond the Shield. So
yeah.
um, they also Vegas Aces also fumbled the bag and released Harmony Turner. I would have loved to see Harmony take over for sure, but when and then Golden State and Atlanta Dream wave Cheyenne Shea Sellers, which is unfortunate. I think for me, whoever's in the front offices, they really need to listen to the fans
Yeah,
because
yeah,
clearly, like for them to the front office clearly just waiving like certain players that can make an impact and also garner more viewerships. It's just kind of like it's just it's just shaking my head like why even have like say media day for these players and then end up like cutting them. So
yeah. That's always been a problem. That's always been a huge problem. The cuts, and now they're trying to get the expansion teams that get more opportunities, which they definitely need. But a lot of good players every year get cut too. But we do have a couple more comments, which I agree with. This Phoenix lost BG, DT, Sylvia Allen, and Tasha Cloud. Yes, the entire team that no one's really talking about. Yeah, Phoenix is, they I believe they're still going to be good. They're really top heavy starting wise. Clea Cobber, Satu Sabali, I love that pickup that they pick. Alyssa Thomas as well over there. But I think their bench, they're lacking depth, and I think that might hurt them. But the rotation at the top is still pretty good, but they did lose a lot of pieces. He also says Dallas has great guards, but awful big rotation, especially defensively. Yeah, agreed. Their guard rotation, DJ Carrington and with Page also in that mix. Their guard play should be very good as well. But yeah, what do you think of the Aces too? Losing Kelsey Plum to LA over there, and seeing what's going on with them. What do you think of the Aces but also picking up Jewel Lloyd to replace Kelsey Plum. Do you think the Aces will they still be a top 4, top 5 team? I still believe so. They still got the best player, Asia Wilson, on the planet. And but their depth. I think their depth too is a that might be a problem as well. But I really believe that the Aces, yeah, and they gave a first pick to downgrade from KP to Jewel Lloyd. Agreed. They got us. Jewel Lloyd's a scorer, but everything goes through Asia. At first and foremost, it has to go through Asia. But we think the Aces still top 4, top 5 team. They look like they're gonna. Becky Hammond did say when I was on one of the Zoom meetings, media meetings that we had last for this past week, she said that she felt like they lost their edge last season, and now you lose Kelsey Plum, who brought that edge to that team. But I think the Aces will still be good. What do you think of the Aces?
Um, we still have the best player, Asia Wilson.
Mm.
Of course, you're gonna utilize her. I think for me, just I think it's so I honestly it's so odd to see Joel Lloyd not being like a silver and black versus like a yellow and green like Seattle. I mean, changes happen too, of course. Um, and you know, with Kelsey Plum gone, Kelsey brought that dog in people. I think
Yeah.
she's a dog for real. Like I said, I feel like to me they could have had built more bench players that could be utilized. And I think with like I said, with Deja Kelly being waived, even though she came off the bench in 12 points per game, hitting a game winner. Yeah, it's just, but I'm glad to see also Tiffany Mitchell be on the team, reuniting with um, Asia Wilson, who they played college together at South Carolina. I think that's super awesome too.
Yeah.
Um, so it should, I think, you know, it just depends on how the chemistry works and see how that goes. I think honestly, LA may be a surprise team just because
Mm. Mm.
with, you know, the rise of Rikia Jackson, utilizing, finally getting her time, and Cameron Brink coming back from the injury, and Kelsey Plum, Ray Burrell. Like I see that team kind of be a surprise team and sneaking into the top 5 teams. I think they will be a surprise. Seattle Storm, they got Skylar back, Naneka, and then they added Lexi
Yeah.
Brown, I think, and just I believe, yeah, they added Lexi Brown, and I think that will be another surprise team, Seattle and Los Angeles. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I do like the Sparks to improve big time. And just to get back to your Aces point, we talk about backcourts and Chelsea Gray, the point guard, she's back healthy, looked really really good. And unrivaled, and just want to remind everyone how good she is. And Jackie Young, they can stay healthy. The Aces, and I agree with Tula plays on this one too. Aces still should be top 4, top 5. Agreed, but won't win the championship. They'll be hungry, but I think there are 3 or 4 better teams. If I had to pick, like I said, Minnesota, Liberty, Liberty's got to be up there just because of they're the champions, and they'll be back uh, as well. And I think the Fever, like I said, they should be a way more improved than they were. And then I think the Aces. So that to me is the top 4. But yeah, the Sparks getting Kelsey Plum added with the Erica Hamby, and you said that's one of those things where Kelsey Plum brings so much experience and brings that dog mentality. That Kelsey Plum is a dog mentality at the guard position, at the point guard position as well. And Rakia Jackson, just such a good scorer. She can score at a lot of all levels and everything too. But you said that Ray Burrell, I love that. And he said once Cam Brink is fully healthy, uh, I really believe they can finish top 6 with her. Yeah, they'll be in that yes, that 7-8 range. I agree with that as well. Talk about Seattle. Seattle's issue is no shooting and 3 ACLs mean only 10 healthy players, 440. They're they already got injuries as well. So I really feel like they'll be top six still. But yeah, I like that too. Another comment: Fever's issue is their franchise player does not even try on defense, which sets a bad precedent for the rest of the team. Agreed. But that's why they got. I think that's why they got all that championship experience and coaching, which open up. They want to run, and uh, Caitlin Clark's going to take the next. She's going to take the next step and take it to the next level. Trying to win MVP, and I love what Indiana's what they're saying. They want to win a championship. I still think they might be a year away, even getting all those good experience pieces. But I feel like they're a year away, and but they'll definitely be improved for sure. But I see the point of not playing defense, but I think she can improve on that point. We've seen players do that, improve on that side of the ball. So, any other storylines that you're looking into, or any teams or players that you got your eyes on?
I think Aaliyah Edwards for Mystics will show up
Yes,
a lot. Um, I was hoping to see Georgia more take off, but with the ACL injury, it's just kind of like, man, I would have loved to see Georgia more take over. But I think Aaliyah Edwards is going to really surprise a lot of people. She's going to be one of those surprise players. Um, and I'm hoping to see the Minnesota Lynx utilize Alyssa Peely more because Alyssa is a great guard forward for sure. Like from seeing her playing for Utah, she is a monster, and I'm just hoping that Alyssa Peely get her chance for Minnesota.
yes, yep,
And but yeah, I think for me, I see Aaliyah Edwards just kind of take off and surprise a lot of people since yeah, so I see that happening. And um yeah, I think yeah, that's my take. So
yeah,
yeah.
oh yeah, oh yeah. I like that. Yeah, just a couple other takes for me is that there's another comment here. I like this. I think the machine needs to stop pushing the CC MVP agenda, though. She is not on the same tier, not yet. Nope. The Asia feed, of course. I think the Fisa Collier will probably win MVP. If it was for Asia having a historic season, the Fisa Collier would have been the MVP for sure. And also Stu, yeah. Caitlin's not there yet, but we are seeing a trajectory keep moving up, and they said they're building that team around her. That's why they put those pieces together, um, and having a coach that is going to maybe unlock something even different. But we'll see how that goes. But a couple other teams I like I said, we Atlanta Dream. They're another team that could sneakily get in the make that top eight.
Yeah.
I like I like what they did. New coaching who wants to the new coach wants to shoot a lot of threes, and they got two bigs that they got in Bree Jones and with BG as well. So I want to see how that all works out with that team with Atlanta. So I think they could be sneaky good if they're able to get all their chemistry together. I love Alicia Gray. Um, love it. She brings shooting and no back down. Ryan Howard's a bucket. Walking bucket as well. Jordan Canada. So I do like the dream. Um, it is very clunky. Yeah, that's what it said. Yes, they're the fit. We'll see if all those pieces come together as well. We got to talk about the Chicago Sky. Gotta see. Do you feel like they well, and Tua plays a comment here. Do you think the Chicago Sky they made a lot of changes too, getting some experience as well to help Cardosa and Angel Reese as well. Yeah, the Sky lacked scoring. Yes, they lost Mabry. But what do you think of the Sky, Chicago Sky?
I think, oh yeah, I'm gonna say that Haley Van Leaf. That's gonna be a surprise rookie
Mm,
right there. I
mm,
think she's gonna make a lot of noise. I think to see her reunite with Angel, in the Sky because they played together at LSU, and I think just with Haley just getting her chance now. I think she will make a noise for Chicago Sky. You know, you have Camilla and Angel with being the Twin Towers just on the floor. Um, but yeah, I can really see Chicago Sky be another surprise team just sneak in. As long as they're utilizing the players and what they have, that would be amazing to see. I think for me, my biggest thing is coaches, if they have these players, they need to be able to utilize them. And they need to be able to utilize these players, especially if
Yeah.
they know they can be impactful and contribute. If they don't know how to use that, then I don't know. It's just I don't know what else to say. Like to me, I don't want to see I would hate to see like a coach from the WNBA pull something, do a Steve Kerr in the Olympics with where he didn't know how to utilize certain players. So yeah.
Yeah, right. And yeah, with the Chicago Sky, like I said, Camilla needs to step it up this year. She was underwhelming last year. Needs to work on that more. They're very talented. Yeah, I think with the Sky, I think part of their issue was just didn't know what type of identity they were. They lack they did lose scoring with Mabry and Kennedy Carter. Hopefully she is back because she is super talented. Really agree with that. Her thing is I don't know, is maybe just where's all her welcome on team? That's what it seems like. But the talent's there and everything too. But I think Camilla will improve because her and Angel, and Angel's working on her. They want to use her with her ball handling. They want to use her. Um, try to be a more of a perimeter player. Yeah, I was just talking about this. What do you think about Angel playing more on the perimeter? I think that needs to happen, especially with Camilla being on the inside. It is clunky if they try to play both on the inside, uh, and Angel playing a little bit of the point forward, point center, whatever you want to say. I think that definitely opens up the floor for that as well. And they got Kia Nurse, Courtney Vandersloot is gonna championship experience. I like the guards that they picked up, and they're coaching. Tyler Marsh just seems like he's trying to help this team improve, like get an identity, and I think that's what's going to help Chicago, especially if they stay healthy. I think how he implements his offense. I think that should help Chicago. I think make the playoffs. So I really feel like they're going to be in that 7-8 mix as well. So I think we touched on almost every team, I believe, and everything too. Yeah, this is gonna be. I'm very excited, and then yes, Haley Van Lith, of course, big fan of HBL. Love what she. Hopefully she gets some time, get some time to learn under Vandersloot. I think that really will help her develop. And I thought it was a really good solid pickup for her as well. Says
I
Cam
just love
Brent.
I just
Okay.
love her come. I just loved her Haley Van Lith's comeback from, where she went from. She dominated TCU this year.
Yes.
Being a comeback player and then player of the year for the Big 12 and just making a run, like being the first player in
Yeah.
NCAA history to carry like three teams to the Elite Eight and
Yeah. Yeah.
just and I love to see, like, for me to see her and her boyfriend Jalen Suggs, for him to support her, like that was super sweet. So I think for her, like, Haley is a dog, like she is a dog.
Yes.
um and I just would love to see her continue to make noise, and I think she's going to do that this season for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Cam Brink will win multiple Defensive Player of the Years in the future. Just hope she stays healthy her whole career. I know it was devastating when she went out after 15 games. She was playing very high level basketball, and you saw the improvement throughout those first few weeks of the season for Cam Brink, and like she comes back healthy. especially on the defensive side, she's going to really help LA, and that's why they they'll be a really good team. I really like the Sparks and what they're gonna be, what they're gonna capable of doing. Haley Van is nice, but still think of more of a two guard. Have to play the point because of her size. She will definitely learn from Sloot. That's what, yeah, agree with that. They getting Vander Sloot and then drafting Haley Van Lith. I think that was a really good pickup. So, but yeah, this was a lot of fun, Ash. Really exciting time. I'm a huge, we're both huge WNBA fans, women's basketball fans for so many years. And look at exactly Tula Plays. Thank you for tuning in. Follow both of us. We would love to chop it up more, even on the podcast. So look us up and follow us on all the platforms as well. We appreciate the comments and the questions as well. Very, very knowledgeable. But yeah, Ashley, thank you again. This has been a lot of fun. But let everyone know what you got coming up next. You did talk about a little bit what you have, and but tell everyone they can follow you and follow the podcast.
So you can follow me on Ashelise.3, ASHELISE dot and number three. Bonafide Podcast, BONAFIDEHERPODCAST. Also subscribe to Bonafide Podcast on YouTube. Love to get 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully this year. If not, it's gonna still continue to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully getting more sponsorships, of course. That would be cool. Also PR boxes. That would be dope. Upcoming events. So with summer hoops happening, if you are in the Charlotte area or in North Carolina, be sure to, support Queen City Pro-Ams. The season starts from June 28th to August 9th. The games on Thursday nights, every Thursday night, and Saturdays. So Saturdays in the day to night. So, but yeah, so that's what's coming up. So yeah, please be sure to follow your favorite woman in sport. When you invest in women's sports, amazing things happen.
Yes, for sure. Follow Ashley on all those platforms and the podcast and yeah, follow her on social media as well. Thanks a lot, Ashley. Again, really appreciate it, and we'll do this again.
Appreciate it.
All right, you have a good one.
You too.
Thanks. All right, that was Ashley W from the Bonafide Her podcast. Definitely follow her on all the platforms. Thank you again to everyone that tuned in, the comments. Really appreciate it. The WNBA season starts tomorrow. Looking forward to it. And I got a couple more before the season starts. Got a couple more shows tomorrow. So follow me on all the platforms as well. I Get the Real Deal on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky, and the BS3TVLive.com, BS3 Network, BS3 TV on Roku as well, and YouTube channel. All right, until next time, hope everyone stays safe and God bless.